I love the look of this old 1976 Flying Colors series Red Line Maxi Taxi casting. It's not in great shape, but it's not in terrible shape. It has a metal body, plastic base. You see there's some odd chunks out of the base, and I'll show that a little better in a bit. It's obviously kid painted. You see some of that kid paint on the glass there. It's blue glass, has two little pins that hold that onto that center section with the seats, and that's a rubberized kind of plastic interior. The glass, I was lucky, and you'll see this weird paint. I'm not sure what they painted it with, but it's an odd, it's yellow, but it kind of scrapes off easily. There you see the weird holes in the base. They're supposed to be square holes, but for some reason, they made them larger. I don't know if they were trying to break into the casting or what. But, I threw it in citrus strips, stripped the paint off, of the metal body, drilled it, tapped it. It has front and back posts, nice big posts, so I was able to use the 256 screws. And the casting itself wasn't bad, but there you see the weird extended holes. So first things first, I want to get these red lines off of there. I popped the axles off, and again, I'm not sure what they were trying to do with those holes. I'm really curious. But I took that chrome section. The chrome was worn on that plastic. So, I go to old, reliable, super clean. Throw it in there. I like throwing things on a wire. I do this when I strip paint on castings. I like to do it when I throw stuff in the super clean because it lets me pull it back out of that liquid really easily. And it lets me keep as much of the liquid as possible as I can let the stuff dry off. There you see the rubberized interior, and you see how easily that paint kind of scrapes off. Same on the glass, and you see it there. I mean, a thumbnail will take it off. I do wash these in warm soapy water. There's the glass after the warm soapy water bath, and it has a little bit of roughness to it. Not terrible, but I did decide to wet sand it, and I have this foam-backed 3000 grit sandpaper. So I'm doing some very light sanding on this. I don't want to ruin the glass. At the same time, I want to basically get the rough spots out of it. And polishing alone wasn't going to do it. It did definitely need to be sanded. Using the 3000 grit sandpaper worked great because that's super fine. And the foam backing, I love foam back sandpaper for stuff like this. It lets me get into some curves and stuff. And I have something else I just got. It wouldn't work for glass, but for some other sanding it will. And I'll be sharing that soon. But then I went to Flitz for polishing. And, I love Flitz. It's a great polish for this kind of thing. Polish that up with the microfiber cloth. Hit it with the gauzy. The gauzy puts a nice, thick, clear coat on that. And I always love the results with gauzy. There's occasions where I haven't used it, but when I can, it really is the thing I prefer to use. And the jars last forever. I mean, I think I've had 2 now, if I remember right, because I spilled one. Usually, most of the things I end up rebuying, more often than not, are because I spilled them, like Nuln oil. But anyhow, wick off the excess, and then I put it under the protective cover there just to keep any lint off of it and let it dry. It doesn't take all that long to dry. There's a better shot of that plastic base once the chrome's stripped off. I know I'm not going to be able to do a perfect job of fixing it, but I wanted to make it look a little more accurate to the original. So what I end up doing is I take a couple of small little styrene squares, and I don't know if you can see those on the cream background there, the manila folder, but I take those little squares and I leave a square opening in the base on those 2 areas. They're supposed to have a rectangular opening. So I kind of try to recreate that on the inside using the styrene chunks. And you'll see where this is going in a second. And admittedly, this isn't a perfect fix, but after putting those two squares down with the CA glue, then I get out JB Weld, which I'm sure doesn't surprise anybody. And on the other side, basically at the base, you're going to see from the angle that you're looking at once it's assembled, I fill in those openings. I basically try and square up and fill up. And you'll see it here with the JB Weld as best as I can. And again, it's not going to be perfect, but it's reasonably close. Also, one of the little half moon, basically axle protectors that are behind the wheels on the base, one of those had been snapped off. I've sanded those off of so many bases, it's not even funny. But this is the first time I think I've ever tried to recreate one. And I wanted it to look a little worn because the one on the other side was worn. So it's not a perfect half round circle. It somewhat matches the wear on the other side. So that's what I did on the base. And then it was time to clean up the body itself. The body was in pretty good shape. There was a small crack on the top of the driver's side front windshield pillar. Fortunately, it wasn't bent, anything like that. So I just needed to put a tiny, tiny bit of CA glue there to reattach it. Basically to close up that attachment is probably a better way to put it. And then a lot of filing of the body, just cleaning it up as best I could. Again, this is a restoration. And so it's not like I'm going for perfection, but I do want it to look better. I want to try and remove whatever wear I can, the appearance of the wear as much as I can, and just clean up some of the roughness. There it is. I after cleaning up the body as much as possible, hit it with the IPA. Then it was Chevy Gloss Daytona Yellow that I used in that lacquer. Once the decals are on, I hit it with the Worth lacquer spray. The base was hit with that chrome aluminum spray. You'll see the results of all of those here at the end of the video. I did have some decals from Second Chance Redlines that I used on this. I love using their decals when they're available for a build that I'm doing. It's, I can print my own decals, but when you can get a set of decals, I don't know, for like $4, $5, something like that, and they're perfect, and they're excellent decals. Why would I try to recreate my own? If I was customizing them, sure. If it was a decal they didn't have, sure. For something they have, take advantage of it. So I did. And they're great decals. They always apply really easily. And that's all there is on this, are the front basically decal with the basically the checkered flag look, and that radio dispatched lightning bolt on the back. That's on both sides. And that's it for decals. The lights on the top don't get painted on this one. Nothing like that. No detail on the base. Here you see the base after I did chrome coat it with that aluminum chrome paint. And then the wheels and axles were pretty much shot. So I created new axles, used the resin printed bearings, and just threw a new set of wheels on there. The wheels are from Bright Vision. I did go with deep dish. I know some people really don't like the deep dish wheels. I love the deep dish wheels. So that's pretty much whatever I have on hand. And these I had on hand. That's what I used. They're, of course, going to roll, even when you don't want it to. There you see the base. And I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Again, it's not perfect, but at least you can see that the holes are small rectangles now. They aren't those huge broken out chunks. Glass looks a lot better. The interior is great. Just washing it, really, it didn't need anything done. I didn't clear coated or anything fancy. All that is a nice cleaning. The windshield has the two little posts that clip into the back of that interior. Then that drops into the body itself. And then it's just a matter of popping that base on there. Get that front in. There we go. And like on the original, no detail on the taillights or headlights or anything like that. This is about as much of a straight restoration as I'm going to do. Sure, I did use deep dish wheels. And, that's a little different. But otherwise, it's not too shabby. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. And it rolls like a champ. So there's where we started. Yeah. That little thing was beat to hell. And it's funny when you look at it because they did repaint some of it with yellow. And at the same time, you'll see like blue streaks around the hood, like the hood scoop area. So I'm not sure what they did, like how they had it looking. But I wanted to take it back to its youth. So there's where it was. Here's where it is. You gotta love it. I just love the look of that. I think the yellow turned out great. I happen to have that yellow on hand, and I think it worked out well for this build. The clear coat, that Worth clear coat, works really well for a rattle can. And, if I airbrushed, I'd probably use something different, but I don't, at least not yet. But anyhow, I hope you like this as much as I do. There's some glamour shots coming up. And thank you for watching these videos. Everybody stay safe and healthy out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.